गुड मॉर्निंग दोस्तों, आपका स्वागत है एच टेक्निकल चैनल पर। आइए आज हम स्टार्ट करेंगे इफेक्टिव लाइफ मैनेजमेंट का नेक्स्ट चैप्टर एक पॉजिटिव थॉट्स के साथ। आज का थॉट्स ऑफ द डे है, कोई भी लक्ष्य मनुष्य के साथ से बड़ा नहीं, हारा वही जो लड़ा नहीं। आज का जो टॉपिक आज का अंडरस्टैंडिंग पुरुषार्थ एंड प्रबद्धा कर्मा। Let us explore the aspect of Prabhata Karma's impact on our lives further. It is due to this that no two human bodies are exactly alike. Even identical twins have some differences. We are born dark, fair, tall, or short due to Prabhata Karma. Although we have no freedom in choosing what type of body we have, who our parents will be, and so on. We must remember that we are basically the infinite spirit and that we have the potential to achieve all that we want. It is in human nature to struggle against all odds since nothing comes free in this world. It goes without saying that our karma is to make the best use of the opportunities that we have and cultivate a positive attitude to life and its problems. We are not presenting a fatalistic view by saying that karma determines our life's patterns. It is to lay emphasis on how we work, what work we do, and how concerned we are about our own moral and spiritual development that the karma theory was explained. It is important to note that individual effort has the capacity to change things. When a student fails his exams, his concerned parents arrange extra tuition for him and make him toil hard. As a result, the student gains confidence and is able to pass with decent marks in his next attempt. He succeeds because he decided to struggle in the right direction when traveling to a high altitude destination. We take adequate volants to protect ourselves from the chilling cold. It is unreasonable to take the stand that it is our karma to suffer because the decision to travel to a cold place was ours. Swami Vivekananda used to say that if we take care of the means, the end is assured, nothing can stop it from occurring. This is logical too. One may be talented, but if the talents are not cultivated, sharpened, and groomed through practice, even the finest of talent will go waste. Therefore, we need regular practice through self effort to effectively manifest our talents. This is a part of managing ourselves. Effort or struggle to change one's life is known as Purushartha or self effort. The art of action requires us to develop an ability to discriminate between Purushartha and Pravadha Karma. The materialistic world judges one's position in society on the basis of his or her academic achievements, assets, possessions, and wealth. Carried away by this, many young people are prone to weave all kind of fantasies about their futures without even realizing their inherent capabilities. They may develop deep dissatisfaction about the lack of facilities and opportunities in their lives. Such negative attitude does not help build life. It is essential that we have faith in our potential divinity and try to achieve the best in life. We must remember that material possessions do not make a man. How he sees himself, how he uses his body and mind determines his life. Therefore, it is said, God helps those who help themselves. It is possible to change the effects of all Parvata through self effort and sincere prayer to God to help us in all our endeavors. It is good to dream of higher goals and aim to achieve them. If the target is high, our efforts will also be more. We shall then be able to achieve more than what we would by simply sitting and brooding about our karma. An ideal balancing of Purushartha and acceptance of our Pirvada rarely happens, resulting in a wide actually achieved. Since most of us are unaware of our true abilities, we do not put in the required amount of effort required to achieve our goals. Most dreamers therefore continue to daydream, growing old and finding their youthful energies frittered away. They are unable to withstand the pressure of life's hard realizes shattering their make believe world. They fail to realize that success in any field comes only through hard work and God's grace. Without a strong faith in one's own divinity or in God, it is impossible to avoid frustration when failure stares at us. We must learn to judge ourselves by the internal development that we have achieved and derive satisfaction and fulfillment from it. Life is a combination of both the external man and the internal man, and deficiency in any one area will weaken the person, especially if the true internal self is neglected. The ability to use Purushartha properly has especially relevance for young men and women who are shaping their future careers. One should make all possible efforts diligently, sincerely, and repeatedly to secure admission to a good college or to find a good job. Suppose that does not happen, then effort must be made to get the next best college or job. The world is large and the opportunities are plenty. One failure does not mean the end of the world. Just as it may be our pravada to be denied one position, it must be our pravada to try and procure another. Karma is action and it does not accept a defeatist attitude. Everyone need not become a doctor or an engineer or a corporate executive. There is much more to life than these titles and other avenues can also provide us with decent lives. Ultimately, it is how we value ourselves that is more important than what the world dictates. Sri Ramakrishna explains the role of Purushartha beautifully through the example of a cow that has been tied to a post in an open field. The cow is not absolutely free. The rope limits the cow's movement, but it is free to eat the grass in the circumscribed by the length of the rope. Only after it has exercised this limited freedom and eaten all the grass within its reach will be honored. Move it to a different spot. If we the cow is dexterous to very hungry, the owner intervenes and extends the rope or ties it at a better spot. Tirabandha karma is like that rope that limits our freedom to manifest the potentiality within us. However, we must be active and use Purushartha to achieve whatever is within our grasp. Only after we have made full and proper use of the freedom that has been given to us through Purushartha can we expect our rope or destiny to be extended or changed. So this parable implies that we can reshape our lives if we persevere and struggle. We cannot possibly know what kind of pravata karma we have unless we must first try and use Purushartha to achieve our goals. We should be ready to accept favorable or unfavorable results as the fruit of our Purvata karma. Only when we have sincerely put in all possible efforts, this power to discriminate and accept the threat is essential to lead a balanced life and is at the core of learning the art of action. ये जो हमने चैप्टर रीड किया इसका जो कंक्लूजन है वो राइटर यहाँ पे लिख रहा है. Conclusion is the theory of karma, Tirvata karma in particular, teaches us that tough past karma determines an individual's life and its conditions. How we use the given environment depends entirely on us. A man should not be judged by the suffering the undergoes, but by his capacity to rise above them. The effects of past karmas were responsible for the terrible suffering that the mighty Pandavas of the Mahabharata had to endure, but their virtuous, supreme moral strength and the grace of their divine friend Sri Krishna lifted them above all trials, enabling them to emerge victorious. Their ability to rise above all circumstances by reposing faith in their own strength, in values, and in God demonstrated their true character. Righteousness, the prescribed way of life, brings spiritual joy and peace as its result. A way of life that is not righteous leads to unhappiness both here and hereafter. Every individual is responsible for his prosperity or adversity, elevation or degradation, enjoyment or suffering, depending on how we use the freedom of action. We can either elevate or degrade our lives. Dependence on some unknown supernatural power will only weaken us. The law of karma lays the whole responsibility on human being and gives it the power to shape its future destiny. Although it is impossible to change pravata, it is possible to reduce its intensity by sincere prayer, says the Holy Mother. If we are to be hit by a sword by the grace of God, it may ought to be it may ought turn ought to be a mere pinprick. Swami Vivekananda said, every thought that we think, every deed that we do, after a certain time, becomes fine, goes into seed form, so to speak, and lives in the fine body in a potential form, and after a time it emerges again and bears its results. These results condition the life of man, thus he molds his own life. Man is not bound by any other laws excepting those which he makes for himself. Each one of us is the maker of his own fate. This law knocks on the head at once all doctrines of predestination and fate. We and none else are responsible for what we suffer. We are the effects and we are the causes. We are free, therefore, if I am unhappy, it has been of my own making, and that very thing shows that I can be happy if I will. If I am impure, that is also of my own making, and that very thing shows that I can be pure if I will. The human will stands beyond all circumstances. Summarizing the art of action, let us therefore decide to lead our lives in such a manner that every action of ours all adds to our store of good karma. The time will come when we shall be unable to do anything but good and rise beyond desiring results for our actions. We will be working as masters with no good or bad karmas to bind us back to this world. Karma is the cause for our birth, and if we have to go beyond this cycle and attain everlasting joy, then we have to get rid of the golden chain of good deeds too. When we have mastered this technique, then karma becomes karma yoga skill in action. देन जो नेक्स्ट चैप्टर है उसमें दिया है प्रैक्टिस के बारे में कि प्रैक्टिस कितनी इंपॉर्टेंस होती है हमारी लाइफ में. The mind naturally tends towards evil deeds. It is lathering in doing good work. That is why I say that perseverance and tenacity are necessary for success in all good works. One's ounce of practice is worth 1,000 pounds of theory. Practice makes us what we shall be. In order to manage our lives, it is important to realize that mere intellectual understanding of the principles enumerated here is not enough. What we need is practice. We can achieve the impossible through practice. Arjuna admits his incapability to control the mind, which is as subtle as wind. Sri Ramakrishna assures him that it is possible to gain control over it by practice and renunciation. We need to implement ideas in order to bring about changes in our lives. Mere reading and discussing or dreaming about the various possibilities does not help much. Practice makes a man perfect. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Practice is of greatest importance. If we examine the lives of great men, scientists, psychologists, philosophers, or sages, we find that the key to their success is in practice. They dedicate themselves to practicing their calling with such sincerity and devotion that such success is guaranteed in whatever they take up. Even in daily life, practice is essential to be able to achieve anything. For example, a student must practice his lessons in order to pass the exam. In fact, it is through practice that we have mastered the ability to walk and ride, so much so that we do not feel the strain anymore. Repeated action creates a habit. We can cultivate good habits through repeated good acts and give up bad habits by using our willpower. Habits influence our minds and nervous system in such a way that they become a part of our nature or character. If we want to know a man, studies the habits. Once we have formed undesirable habits, then it is very difficult to get over them or change them. Yet all is not lost. Difficult activities such as swimming, cycling, and so on become easy after regular practice. Similarly, other acts and habits can be modified with practice, patience, and perseverance. Many are not aware of the tremendous power of practice. In fact, even reason is considered subordinate to practice. Through practice, we can develop habits that stay with us even in times of great stress or danger, whereas reason can simply desert us at such times. This is why firefighters can successfully save people from a building on fire, while others simply panic. These firefighters are made to practice the procedure so many times that it becomes habitual and they are able to perform involuntarily even when their lives are at risk. Since our early childhood, we practice writing and doing most of jobs with the right hand. Suppose there is an accident and the hand is injured, we start doing all the work with the left hand and it becomes natural to us. A man who has been practicing tabla for years starts moving his hands as soon as he hears music automatically. Even if he is not sitting in front of the tabla, so powerful is the power of practice. For a true seeker of peace, practice is of utmost importance. The unfortunate reality is that we are willing to do and continue doing something evil and harmful for 2 minutes of pleasure rather than doing something that will benefit us for the rest of our lives. This only shows that we lack proper resolve and willpower to improve ourselves. तो फ्रेंड्स, आज का जो टॉपिक है यहीं पे एंड होता है। देन कल हम फिर मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट टॉपिक के साथ। आपने यहाँ तक वीडियो देखा उसके लिए थैंक यू सो मच। हैव ए नाइस डे।